Today, I want to talk about why I have mained Pinnacle Glaivier since her release, and I have no plans on changing that anytime soon. So I'm going to talk about some things I absolutely love about the class and why I have stuck with her for so long, and some things that I maybe don't love, but in retrospect are very small-sided things compared to everything I do like about the class. The longer I play Lost Ark, the more I realize I really appreciate a good theme, and Glaivier is one of those characters that for me I just cannot get enough of. The spear, the Glaivier that she wields as her two stances in her Pinnacle class engraving is just so cool to me, and along with that, it is very intriguing, and it's really cool that with that spear in her red stance, she's able to perform ranged attacks and quite literally like launch a dragon through her spear as she charges that attack up. It is very satisfying, as well as her skill Starfall Pounce, where she literally jumps up in the air and flies across the screen and pounces down on the ground. It is just a very cool skill, along with a couple of other skills in her blue stance, but this combination of having two different stances and them both being pretty unique in their own right and how you fight within those stances is just had me hooked since day one. Another thing that I've realized after playing Lost Ark a while is that I am a sucker for smooth set rotations through your damaging skills. I like watching the game. I don't like looking down at my buttons, spamming them as soon as they come off cooldown and having to look down, look up, look out, look up, look, and I'm just sitting like doing like this because I'm not able to really be in the fight and enjoy it and feel the kind of oomph when you're going through these Legion raids or whatever activities that you're doing. I like to know that as soon as I start something, I'm going to have these skills on cooldown, and I'm looking for the right opportunity to use those skills within the next 6-8 seconds or whatever it is. And this is something that Glaivier has been known for from the beginning. Her rotations have been absolutely buttery smooth since she released. Even with the recent rework, it has changed a little bit, as in you're not constantly going through the rotation without any breaks, but now because Pinnacle Glaivier is a little bit more of a burst class, or it is a burst class, you have more downtime between your set damage rotation, but once that damage rotation starts, it's again nice and smooth. And because of those changes that they made in the rework to Pinnacle Glaivier, I feel like a lot of players that were playing Glaivier either loved it or they didn't really like it too much. Even though they did buff the damage quite a bit with that rework, it didn't matter because the playstyle for a lot of people, it just wasn't quite the same. As far as I'm concerned, I absolutely love it because I like burst classes. I like going through rotation and then kind of hanging out, setting up the next rotation, building meter, whatever I need to do, and then taking that short opportunity to do a lot of damage and then kind of going back through that cycle. That's just my cup of tea, and Pinnacle Glaivier definitely fits that to a T now. Another change that they made when they reworked Glaivier was the animations. They updated them, they made them a little bit more modern and much more impactful, and it's just one more reason that I just started to love playing my Glaivier even more, because I am also a sucker for good animations that make you feel a little bit of a dopamine rush whenever it goes off, and it is aesthetically pleasing to the eyes and the senses and the sounds and everything. You know, that is important, especially when you're playing a class that you're wanting to invest into, that you enjoy playing them even despite what numbers you're seeing on the screen. And this is very much true for Pinnacle Glaivier. I really enjoy her animations and the difference of her animations from her stances, from her red stance and her blue stance, across all of her major skills. Another reason that I really enjoy playing Pinnacle Glaivier and always have is because of the utility. And there was one thing that really set Glaivier and still sets Pinnacle Glaivier apart from most other DPS classes, and that is the fact that she has a parry. And this is push immune, it's not status immune, and it seriously comes in handy with a lot of different situations. It is a very cool get out of jail free card type of a skill if you need to, or it's also a great skill because it is push immune to really keep your damage uptime high through certain mechanics if it's going to interrupt your big burst window or something like that. She also has one counter in each of her stances. This is also very unique and a very, very useful tool, because lots of times you will use a counter for some type of mechanic and there will be another counter very quickly after that, and you might actually have to switch stances and use that counter, or you might just flat out miss your first counter and do it too early, and you can switch stances and boom, catch the second one just in case. There are many cases that having two counters, one counter on each stance, is very, very useful. Aside from that, her counter on her red stance is a very good movement tool, and that just brings in more utility to the class. She also has a ton of destruction damage. She can get off about 5 points of weak point. If you know it's coming up, you can plan it out a little bit, but 5 points in about 5 seconds or less. So it is very, very useful to have that type of utility for weak point. Her stagger is okay, but she does have a couple skills that are very versatile with their runes, so that it enables you to put overwhelm runes on them without totally crippling her build or anything like that. So again, just more utility on the class. Another nice thing about utility with this class, with Pinnacle Glaivier, is that you typically are going to be running 2 movement skills. One is directly movement skill, and the second one is a weak point and movement skill that you can combo into your spacebar to get a ton of movement very, very quickly. She can feel very zippy without having any swiftness on her build, because she gets a move speed buff from her engraving whenever you're switching stances. So that's another reason I really, really enjoy playing her, is all the utility and all the versatility that she brings whenever playing her in the Legion raids. And in terms of skins, female fighters have a lot of cool skins in my opinion. So just another plus in my book, and this is also why I'm making a War Dancer on Breaker release. I'm making a Breaker as well, so make sure and stick around for it, guys. We're gonna make it together on stream. It's gonna be a lot of fun, but I'm also gonna be able to share those skins with my War Dancer, so just another plus. And the one really bad thing about Glaivier, the only thing that I really have to gripe about with her combat or her play style in general, is that every single one of her damage skills are charge or combo. None of them are instacast, with the exception of Starfall Pounce, but it might as well be a charge skill because it takes about 1 second to 1.5 seconds to press the button, fly through the air, hit the ground once, and then hit the ground one more time in the follow-up attack to finish the skill. That is really the only thing that I can complain about, because on bosses that tend to change their aggro quite quickly or make small rotational turns like quarter turns or half turns, it is very frustrating, or can be frustrating, whenever you are trying to go through your combo. Aside from that, I really cannot complain about this class. She's very good at other contents in the game, like Chaos Dungeon, Guardian Raids, even Equalize content or Challenge Guardian Raids and Challenge Abyssal Dungeons. She's very good. She has 100% crit tripods that are pretty OP in those types of content, so it's pretty nice there. But she's just all around very fun to play for the entirety of this game, in my opinion, and that is why I have stuck with her since day one, quite literally, of her release, and I have not backed off since, and we're still pushing, baby. Like I said, we're going for 25 weapon on stream February 25th. Be there or be squared, my guy. But that is pretty much it for this video. The next video that I'm going to be working on, though, is going to be going over my Theamine to-do / checklist, because there's definitely some things I need to get done before we head into the Theamine release in April, and I'm looking forward to sharing that stuff with you guys, as well as the server merges are coming up, and as soon as they give us a list of where those server merges are going to take place, for example, which servers are going to be merging with which ones, I'm going to make a video on how that's actually affecting me since I play 3 rosters and how that might be affecting you as well, and what to do over the next few weeks to really maximize that coming together of your rosters. Alright guys, so stay tuned for those couple of videos, but aside from that, that is the end of this one. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like Lost Art content. That's the end of the video, and I will see you on the next one. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.